Greetings to you. Today is the last day of 2011. This is kvci.blogspot.com with George Boston Rhymes. I'm in the city of Valdosta, Georgia, and I'm on my way to John Robinson's house. Beautiful brother that I've worked with for approximately 3 years on behalf of the economically oppressed people of our beloved community. And I'm out at the Martin Luther King corridor. All of this was erected on behalf of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., a great civil rights leader in the United States of America of black African American descent. We understand that Hannity of Fox News, black columnist Star Parker, Cal Thomas, and others denigrate the first black African American president in this nation. And we act as if though it does not matter to us. But it is of utmost importance that we stand with our president in these hard economic times. We must understand that back in 65 and 68, as listed right here, jobs and unemployment, education, and the right to vote was a major problem back then, and it remains until this day. We know that next month, 2012, around the country, as well in Valdosta, Georgia, there will be ceremonies, dedication services in honor of Dr. King. They will meet right here to talk about the dream of Dr. King. But the question remains, what work of these same people that will meet here at various churches and other churches around the nation, what work are they doing? Real work that will actually emulate the great work of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It is a disgrace for black African Americans in particular to imitate and placate and try to duplicate what Dr. King did during his lifetime, but never take on the real challenges that he faced in his day and time. And so I believe that here in Valdosta, Georgia, those who assemble at a meeting to eat barbecue chicken, grits, fish, or whatever it is, but if they cannot involve themselves in the real work of Dr. King, then it is all equals zero. So now I'm going to close this out, but I want you to know today that we have presented the problems in this community as best as we know how to the city officials here in Valdosta, to the county commissioners here in Lowndes County, to our elected officials in Atlanta and in the state capitol. We have also witnessed and interviewed the late Senator Robert Brown concerning voting rights and the alleged intimidation of black African Americans over in Brooks County and the Quitman 10 problems. Yet, they are ignored for the most part when it comes to getting their story out to the general public. We don't want the words of Robert Brown, Senator Robert Brown, to go down in vain. And so 2012, we want to focus on the 30 deaths that have taken place in the Valdosta and Lowndes County Jail. We want to focus on the many deaths in rural Georgia, South Georgia in particular. Deaths that have not been addressed. We, the black African American community, We know James Demps in Brooks County was shot to death. We know the Wootons were drowned in Brooks County. We know Earl Evans was burned up in a police car. We know that Willie James Williams was arrested over there on Lee Street, taken to the Lowndes County Jail, and died from a fall. And we went to the Justice Department, and we got no justice. We went to different congressmen, and we received no justice. Willie James Williams' children are still asking me questions. What is being done that we can get some type of relief from the loss of their loved ones? 15 people were arrested here in Valdosta for just trying to address their elected officials. The Quitman 10 were arrested over in Brooks County. And we have to wait to see if they will get a jury from among their peers. We want to see if they're going to get justice here in South Georgia. We realize that the news media is doing a little better job to get the news out. That means newspaper, television, and radio. But we also know that much that takes place in this city, Valdosta, is never published to the general public. And we intend to make that a major issue. In 2012, we have gone to the United States Justice Department. We have sent videos, the SCLC under Reverend Rhodes' leadership, the People's Tribunal, the NAACP under Miss Lee Touchton, a Caucasian president and historic figure that has stood with the black and white right people on receiving some type of help here in Valdosta in Lowndes County, Georgia. Yet, the Justice Department of the United States of America for over 20 or 30 years has not come in here and to do what they should have done. We have been under a court order, this city school system, since 1971 about hiring black educators so our children would not be confined to the jails and prisons because their parents not get gainful employment as other people in our beloved community. But the Justice Department and other agencies in the state of Georgia seem to have turned fingers down on the disadvantaged people throughout South Georgia. And I contend that it is time for a change. And as I said earlier, I'm on my way now to Doc Robinson's house. Then we're gonna go and find some location that we can highlight what the Justice Department has done and failed to do. We have federal housing, public apartments dwellings here. Blacks have not shared in those dollars of Section 3 and Title 6 that were set aside. Others have benefited, but the people for which it was set up for has not benefited. And we want to make that an issue. We want to do what Jesus would be pleased with. And what would Jesus be pleased with? Jesus wants us to stand up for the poor, the widows, the orphans, the destitute, the sick, the elderly, and those that are not in the clique and among the slicks and don't have an equal voice in their government because their government apparently has kicked them to the side. But I am George Boston Rand doing what I do because I truly, truly love you. What would make me do what I'm doing if I did not love you? I love you so much today that I'm willing to give you the truth because I understand the real Jesus. The real Jesus, not the Jesus that you placate and duplicate on Sunday, rush off to church and play games like some gonna do in a few days here at this monument and around this city, around the state of Georgia, and around the United States of America. You're gonna talk about a dream, but Dr. King was not overcome by a dream. Dr. King got up and he did something to make things better for his people and better for every citizen that live in the United States and America. Not only that, but around the world. Because he loved somebody outside of himself. And I too stand in likewise condition. It pains me. It pains me. It hurts me to listen to inmate Willie James Williams' daughter who lost her father, and she still wants justice because we're still having the people to die out there in the jail. We have sick people that go to medical and they can't get treatment. They are diabetic. They can't get the diet. I don't know. I ain't been out there but one time, that when I was arrested for allegedly disrupting a public meeting. But they come and they tell me the conditions that are out there in that facility. And from 1994 to 2009, Valdosta and Lowndes County are leading the state of Georgia in jail deaths. The Justice Department knows it, but they haven't done anything about it. And to my knowledge, I had one person still employed said to me that somebody need to look in an alleged taser death. Listen, an alleged taser death that took place out in the Lowndes County Jail on May the 8th, 2011. But what do you know about it, citizens of Valdosta? What do you know about it? Is it true? Is it false? Is it Memorex? Or is it lying? Did your local television stations investigate? Were the USA Today notified? I'm told they were. Was 60 Minutes notified? I'm told they were. Not by me, but people who want to do what is right and who wants to clear their conscience so they can live better and make things right between their God. And so I'm standing here today, as always, because I love the black African American people, and I love all people, but I refuse to punk out under pressure. I don't just talk about Jesus in church and Muhammad in the mosque, or the son of Amram and Yoshabel in the synagogue, or others in the temple under Buddhism. I stand because I love the Jesus that you all talk about. What good of me going to church and talk about hallelujah, 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 and hallelujah? What the need of that when I can't come out in the community and give you the truth as if though I didn't know what Jesus said, and that is, then ye shall know the truth, and that the truth shall set and make you free. And so I do what I do because I truly, truly love you. Until next time, bye-bye, we gone. On behalf of KVCI, George Boston Rhymes, doing what I do because I truly, truly love you. And I'm saying to you, never forget that I served this country, the United States of America, for over 20 years. For over 20 years. And I see Rush Limbaugh. I see Hannity of Fox News. I see Frank Bonner on 105.9 here in Valdosta, Georgia, on Black Crow Media, criticize the commander-in-chief of our sons and daughters, many of whom have lost their lives on foreign battlefields. And it is indeed a great disgrace to the human race. And it is a disgrace to the founding fathers of our republic. And so now we are calling on the righteous among us, if there be any. If there be any. But the question is a revolution necessary? Is a revolution necessary in this country for the poor and economically oppressed people to have their voices heard? I'm on my way to John Robinson's house, and the next clip will be wherever we decide the next clip at. Until next time, bye-bye, we're gone. We doing what we do because we truly, truly love you. Peace be unto you, and bye-bye, we're gone.